All right.
All right, and here we are. All right. Anthony Marino
Wow.
is player on the left, a veteran for many, many years. Talking with him earlier, and I had not realized that he had actually won a major. He won the 2003 Texas State Championships. And I know that he took third in Worlds 2 years in a row.
Wow.
Back around the same time. And then, of course, Vince Sauceda, who has won a number of majors, state championships, and hit some really high heights on the Worlds as well.
Do you have a favorite or anyone you're putting your money on?
Favorite? I don't. Yeah, I don't favor either. I'm sort of unbiased in this one, but if I were to put my money, I'm going to be putting my money on Vince Sauceda, and it's no disrespect to Anthony, but I think that I don't think defense is Anthony's strength. I think that his offense is his strength, and I think that Vince Sauceda has a top 5 all-time offense, perhaps. So I just think that he's going to find the openings that are there and then exploit them. That's just the way I think.
I'm going to root for the underdog.
You're rooting for, okay, so you're rooting.
I'm rooting for the underdog. I don't know.
Well, yeah, he's from Houston, so you could say you're a homer. You're being a homer. That's fine.
That's right. Going for H-Town till we drown.
Nice. So it's interesting to see two lefties facing off against each other.
I don't know when the last time this happened.
Well, I mentioned it earlier. I don't know if you were sitting here, but this is actually, we believe, the first time at a major that two lefties have been facing off in the winner of the winners. There have been lots of great left-handed players, but just not enough of them that they would, that it ever ended up being where they were towards the end of the tournament together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird to call it because the angles are completely the opposite, for both.
I'm trying to think. Was Avery and Vince a final for Texas? Maybe? Texas State?
I don't know. You may be right.
I have no
we better check that because that would change this potentially historic accomplishment.
Either way, still a great thing to watch.
Game point 2.
Yeah, and I mean, so far it's kind of going the way I would expected, which is just Vince is sort of picking Marino's defense apart, which, and there's another piece to this, which is I don't think that Anthony has ever played. I don't think he's probably played Vince in a competition where Vince is, near the top of his game currently. Yeah. So the first game, the Vince in dominant fashion. Anthony is sort of walking around, talking to himself, trying to figure out, I guess, like, what do I need to do? What can I do to defend this onslaught with, and if you've ever been on the other side of trying to defend Sauceda, you will understand. It's just
not
like
a fun
somebody's
place to be in.
jabbing an ice pick, at you over and over.
Wow.
Yeah. He's just so accurate, so deadly. There's a good block by Marino. Another block. I don't know how effective the lefty cross is against a lefty, so I guess we'll find out.
True. How often do you think the other, like both of these players play other lefties? You know?
2.
Right, not a lot because there just aren't that many. I know that Sauceda has played Avery a good
That's
bit.
true.
Three. Three, one.
Yeah, just
Wow.
I guess the lefty cross is a thing against the lefty. Nice cut
There it
by
is.
Marino.
Come on, underdog. Oh, that's
Yeah, I mean, it's just
so deflating.
yeah.
Wow.
5-3.
Mm-hmm.
Right about that offense.
Yeah.
Game point.
Yeah.
3.
Just it's.
Game point 4.
But the one thing that we'll say about Anthony, he ain't gonna be giving up. So
Yeah,
he's gonna keep.
definitely
He's gonna keep fighting until maybe he figures out how to defend against
Yeah.
his.
Maybe his offense can just,
I mean, he's
Do
got a
it
good
up, yeah.
offense. He does have a good offense.
gotta capitalize at every moment he has.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just the cadence on that is so hard to read. So yeah, so it's kind of going as I had expected it so far. Although Marino did start finding some
Yeah.
offensive success there in that game, just he was too far behind by the time
I agree.
he did. So we'll see if he can take some of that momentum into this game. It's kind of what we were talking about, earlier, is that even though he lost, he started to gain a little momentum.
In play. Off.
That was a good block by Vince. That was one of Marino's strong shots. Just sudden under power bank. Vince just barely missed. And the angle there wasn't the best for Munoz.
2.
Yeah, I mean, if Munoz, not say Munoz, I don't want, but Marino, if Marino pushes out like that on his defense, it's just really going to be even worse trouble.
Three, one.
3-1, Vince Sauceda.
Four,
Mm,
one.
mm. Oh, surprising that Vince didn't snag that puck. That's one of his strengths, just like he did there. He's so good at that. Now, see, Marino should have just grabbed that puck. It was right there for him, but he took a transition shot and lost possession. Hmm.
4-1. Ready?
Really trying to
In play.
figure out how to pull, defend this beast of an offense. And there, Vince being very disciplined, just grabbing the puck, setting it up again.
Game point 1.
That was a cool shot. Sort of there's a push that, even though he pushed forward, it had good speed to it. And yeah, and so And that sets up that over which he just did. That was brilliant. It was really, really high end. So we're at 3-0 now in games, and Marino has not been able to figure out a way to defend Sauceda. So Marino's getting a little advice from Brian Acrocco. I think it was maybe motivational, if anything. Just trying to say, keep your head up. You can still do this. But, you can see a bit of bewilderment on Marino's face. I mean, I get it. If you... I've been there. We've all been there. Puck just keeps going in your goal, and you're like, why can't I stop this?
Yeah.
In play.
It's like you want to start trying to think offense a little more, but at the end of the day, you just can't.
You're just like, even if I can get shots in, I've got to stop something from going in my goal. And if you can't do that, it's not going to happen unless you have an offense just as powerful.
I see a little bit of a change in style that Anthony Marino's trying out this game a little bit further back than normal.
You mean his defense?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Defense, yeah.
All right. He's holding back a little further. Okay. Interesting. All right.
At least trying to make Vince, I guess.
Well, I mean,
change it up a little bit.
Well, I think he's saying I'm having a hard time blocking the banks, so I'm trying to pull back a little bit. If somebody's killing you on straight shots, what do? You start to move out a little bit. They're killing you on banks. Sometimes you need to move back a little bit.
Yeah. And I mean, it's 2-0. So far, it's working.
Anthony's puck.
Now, he's defended a few times, but the thing about it is that Vince, and this is Vince's, his whole strategy is to kill you on something long enough for you to adjust, and then go to the next thing that works against what you adjusted.
And then he'll just start playing with it.
Right.
What are you going to take?
2-1.
Wow. That was
The wind up.
crazy. Now, powerful itself. Good block. It was a good block.
Wow.
4-1.
All right. If Marino can squeak a game out here, they give him the confidence he needs to pull on a comeback. But he's going to need some help from Vince, though, because Vince's offense will only be shut down for so long, I think, in this matchup.
I like that setup that Anthony Marino's doing right now.
Okay.
In play.
Every time he starts doing that drift to either the cut or that fiery right wall under. Good.
I think that's one of Marino's best shots in his repertoire is that cut. It's so deceptive.
Duh.
That was great.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh, he did it again.
Point two.
No, see, again, the transition is sloppy. If the puck is on your side, just grab it and set up again.
Great timeout.
Ready? In play.
And he went for the cut again, just missed it. No, see, this transition, give him the puck.
Game point.
Okay, so notice now he's opened up the straights, opened up that cross, but is Vince adjusted? Too late for this game? Well, maybe. Yes, he has. So Vince is now going to be thinking about what has he got to do since Marino made a bit of an adjustment on defense. What does he need? What does Vince need to do to counteract it?
Yeah.
I promise you that's going through his head right now. We had this very discussion.
Yeah. And I think that that last shot that Vince had, that's going in his mind, right? Like that might open up some doors with other things.
Oh yeah, the fact that he hit that cross end at the end, towards the end of that game, I think is definitely going to be a light bulb moment.
Yep.
You know, he's going to say, okay, well, I might need to be working the straights a little bit more if he's going to be holding back so far.
And I think we're going to see that coming out of this game.
We will see. We will see. But I mean, air hockey, any like sport where it's constant action back and forth, boxing or tennis or something like that. There's
Ooh, double bank.
constant adjustments that have to be made. And see, he went for a bank there, which I wouldn't have
Wow.
expected.
Double bank first, now this.
Well, that was just a flub.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if the double bank was a shot that was on purpose or maybe just a missed angle. That
Yeah. I think if Marino would clean that up, he'd gain himself 3-4 possessions a game.
3-0.
And those possessions, even if you're only getting 1 point for every 3 possessions, you just got yourself an extra point.
Yeah.
So where Marino went wrong a second ago was as he charged, even though he was far back.
Yep.
If you're going to be far back, then be far back and play the defense.
Sure.
See, he didn't charge that time, and he was able to defend it. And he was able to defend it again.
He's seems like he's got a great defense set up right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, Vince he didn't make the adjustment so far that we were discussing.
True.
If I was Vince, I would be trying to go for a cut.
Yeah, or that cross. I like that.
Well, I mean, I'd be going for the cut because Marino is trying hard to block. I guess it's the left wall under. And so the cut is going to be to the opposite side of the goal.
True. Great block.
Vince is sort of just kind of forcing now, trying to just really force that bank in.
He is.
He went for the over, which at least that's a different side of the goal. Well, he is determined to get that bank in.
Wow.
This is fascinating, really.
It really is.
Yeah. Because talking with Vince earlier, we were talking about his match with Marcelo Garcia a year and a half ago or so at World, where Marcelo got him, and Marcelo was charging him, and Marcelo plays, see, there's that cut. Marcelo plays a very far back defense, which I guess was difficult for Vince to deal with, especially when he was when Marcelo was charging every now and then. So it was kind of like, is he really backblocking bank, or is he coming out to do deal with a straight? I'm not sure. And there's the cut.
Oh, that's 2 in a row. Marino
needs to put this game away
Yeah,
before Vince really keys in.
And 6-1 is a crazy place to come back from.
Oh yeah. Saw
Come
probably
out.
you weren't around for Owen Geraldo's career before he got passed away, but he had an amazing comeback against Phil Arnold in 1993 at the Worlds. The final game, 6-0.
Wow.
He came back to win the match.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine that? All right. Well, exciting, really.
Yeah.
Exciting that Marino is making this competitive and interesting.
Going underdog.
Yeah, I mean he's still right. He's still the underdog, I would say.
Yeah.
Because Vince started getting some of those cuts in.
Yeah.
So now I think Vince has something to work with.
Yep.
In his head. He's like, okay, the cut is open because he's trying to. But now if he gets a couple of cuts to go in, is he going to get Anthony to start pushing out, thereby reopening the bank?
Right. Ooh.
Beautiful forehand. Still going for the bank. Interesting. There he went for the cut.
Yeah, I think he might just be setting up that cut. Wow.
2.
Offense is just so fun to watch.
Yeah, Marino's offense is fun to watch.
I think one of the coolest things he does, that little twirl with the mallet with his finger. I remember as a kid, I used to watch him do that and try to copy him all the time.
Yeah.
But my fingers were so small, I could never do it.
Right.
So it's so fun to watch him today.
Wow.
This
That
is
was
3
a
games in a row now
powerful.
that Marino came off just blazing hot.
Yeah, and then he finally did charge, which was a charge of intent, right? He's not doing it over and over.
Yep.
So I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
One or two charges a game, sure.
So Vince is definitely going for the straights now. He's barely missed it.
Yeah, Marino's just played defense. I don't know if he was going for over there. Vince is very motivated to get that bank in.
3-1. Yeah. Ready? In play. 4.
It's super exciting for me to watch just because I've been going to all these weeklies, right, on Fridays, and I see Anthony Marino there, but typically just with work, he can't stay very long. So he just plays a couple games and then goes home. And I've been wanting to watch him play, you know, and now I get to see it, and he's in the winners finals. Like, this is just unbelievable watching.
5-1.
I mean, this is a complete turnaround. Now, notice his defense. He hadn't set his defense where he had previously.
Yeah.
In play.
He said it earlier. This is someone that's not going to give up.
Right. He
find a way.
definitely isn't going to give up. Now he's definitely feeling confident.
Yep.
Little mishit flub. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the right wall. Wow.
Game point 3.
Scary place to be in for both of them. Marino is just trying to push it to game 7.
Marino's getting a little too antsy though on defense, I think.
I agree. Great get.
It was. Oh, he must be sweating up a storm, man. He's wiping it off with his shirt.
Okay. Game point 4. Puck and play.
Oh.
Wow.
Then we go to game 7.
That was so hard that Vince lost his mallet.
That is just unbelievable watching this. Pushing to game 7 after being down 3-0.
So this is the second match we've seen today where a guy was down 3-0 and then came back to force a game 7. Vince is cool as a cucumber, though. I don't see it really phasing his the mental, emotional side for him. I think he's just going to keep on plugging away.
I think Marino's still the underdog right now.
We've been saying that now for yeah. At this point, I'm going to call it a coin flip.
Yeah.
Game 7.
This is just so fun to watch.
The defensive adjustment, which Marino did, has completely disrupted Vince's offense. And the main times that Vince has scored in the last couple of games is when Marino sort of had a mental lapse and wasn't prepared.
Yeah. Or just getting a little too into the rhythm of the game.
Yeah. Vince trying some off goals just to kind of feel out what's going on over there.
Wow.
Oh, it was in.
It was.
bounced out. That was sort of a weak flub. Could be nerves. Barely off by Vince. Yeah, that was that's sort of all. He always Marino almost always hits that under from over there.
Another right wall over.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot by Vince. And I think the overs.
Wow.
The overs could be the answer for him if he's not going to just go full on the straights.
Ooh. Now he's trying to get those banks back. This is the first time in 3 games where it seems kind of even in the beginning. The last 3 games, Marino just got a huge jump.
Yeah, there's the straight.
That fake charge.
Yeah, I think Marino, even though he made that defensive adjustment, like now he's not really set with it.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's wanting to come forward too much.
Yeah.
Or it's like he's just ready to go. It was a wasted possession.
You can see a little bit of
Yeah,
frustration.
and there's the over.
Then a 5-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Timeout is called.
Good
Timeout is called.
Very good.
In play.
It was nice block. A couple of nice blocks.
Wow.
Okay.
Sorry, 5-2.
Ref Munoz was ready to call 6.
Eh.
He had seen so many shots scored
I
in a
know.
row by Vince. It's blocked.
And Marino seems a little further out.
5-2. Puck and play.
Wow.
5-3.
It was a nice power shot behind the mallet really well. Good block on the cross.
Three.
Not the venting. Oh, that
Just
was the
there.
yeah. That's
And Vince slows down like that. It's scary.
oh, that's the worst.
Right there.
Oh, crazy. Oh, that was
Won it.
interesting.
Was.
Vince with 2, like a pot shot. You don't see that too often.
Timeout is
Huh,
Good
timeout.
timeout. Wow. I'm just watching Anthony's face as he's preparing for this. You can just tell he wants it so bad.
in play. Flip it.
Good save.
Good.
It's
In
good.
play. Off. Ready? In play.
Just inaccurate, right in the middle of the goal. Transition, just give up the puck.
Fake pump fake, or fake charges again.
Oh, almost had that. Yeah.
I think he's teasing
That
us.
was a great block. It was an accurate shot.
Oh, I thought that almost went in.
Oh, just inaccurate.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's had some chances to get back into this.
I see him on both sides.
Yeah, but I mean, I can understand for Vince, he's trying to close it out. You
Yeah.
kind of start thinking a little too much sometimes.
Yeah, he's got to capitalize here. Also, just great defense. Watching Vince
Yeah,
a little bit.
He's gonna go cross. Oh, and he's gonna
Might be
go
the
under.
longest point of the match so far.
Yeah,
Good shot.
good. Well done. Took Vince a little while to kind of like regather what he needed to do, kind of open things back up, and I think also Marino sort of lost some of his focus.
Yeah.
He just, he gassed a little bit there. But let's get them over and get their thoughts. Come hither.
Alrighty.
All right, I'm here with Vince Sauceda. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we started off with predictions, right?
Okay.
And I said, no disrespect to Anthony. Anthony's a friend. I love him. I've been in air hockey for many years, but I'm going to predict Vince 4-0.
That's what I predicted too.
And I'm going to tell you why. I said because I think that Vince is going to find the defensive weaknesses that exist and he's going to exploit them. And I said, I think Marino's better side of his game is his offense, if between the two. Right. So I said, I thought, all things being equal, that you were going to pick them apart. And that ended up happening.
It did.
Until he made a defensive adjustment.
He went, he played on against the goal, very Marcelo Venezuelan-like.
Yeah.
And he charged me that one.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuck with me. And I said, I better.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I better give him a few banks. And he was taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
And that's what gave him those leads and those wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that last game, I changed my stance up. I had completely different offense.
Okay.
That last game. And that came clean.
Well, the thing that I was talking about was that, once he pulled back, like if I was in your ring and coaching you, I would have said, all right, now it's time to go for the straights. Now just, cross them. The cut seemed like it was open.
Right.
And for a while, you seemed like you were almost being stubborn, like kept going for the bank, kept going for the bank. What was that about?
I like to make it interesting. I mean, that's got to be part of it because I think it's better for the sport, for people to see a seventh game is always exciting.
You're not like intentionally going to 7 games.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to beat him with something that was working, and then he adjusted, and I said, well, I can just go over on that.
Oh, yeah.
So I was trying to go over.
Okay, maybe you were missing the overs, but they were going more under,
and he was getting pieces of them.
Yeah. Okay,
and
that makes sense.
Yeah, I knew to go with the straights. But
Yeah,
I said, let me.
And I said that on the stream too. I said Vince knows how to adjust to this, and he'll do that. But then games go by, and now we're in game 7. I'm like, what's going on?
And then I adjusted.
Yes, well, of course.
Yeah. But it's really just for me to get into, because you can't emulate this environment in practice. So, So I really hate to say that I'm like, trying to just go 7, but the more experience I get being able to say, okay, I know what to do, but let me figure out another way to do it.
Okay.
And I have more opportunities.
Okay. I see what you're saying. So it's like, here's a guy.
It makes it more interesting.
Right. So here's a guy that's made this defensive adjustment that I've, dealt with in the past. I have ideas on how to deal with it, but I want to maybe learn a little bit more. Maybe something else is possible.
Right.
I think, going for the overs in that situation probably made good sense. Right. But then, if they were just a little off.
And not only that, I haven't been practicing much, so I get a good opportunity to get those overs into rhythm because I'm going to need them.
Oh, yeah, I hear you.
I haven't been consistently hitting them the way I normally do.
Okay. So, well, your banks, are, phenomenal right now. So.
Yeah, it's working. It's clicking. It's working. It's coming together. Yeah.
He's got the right pace and the right cadence. It's just hard to block. Excuse me.
Yeah. So no, it wasn't me like I want to go 7. No, I was trying to beat him, but I was stubborn in changing my attack because I just didn't.
Fair enough.
I wanted because I know my attack works. I just wanted him to bend to my will, and he would not.
No, and let's give Anthony credit, right?
He executed well.
He made an adjustment, and he didn't give up, and he fought till the bitter end. I think that he sort of gassed a little bit towards the end there, flubbed a number of shots, lost possessions, and that we're a little bit older than you, so anyhow. Well, great win.
Thank you,
great
sir.
Win.
Yeah.
We'll see you in the finals against whoever battles their way to get there.
Weissman or Marino or Gibson.
Or Gibson, one of those 3.
Okay.
All right.
Excellent.
We'll see ya.
Yep. See ya.
All right. Let's see if we can get Marino over. Would you ask him? So yeah, great match to watch. If you're into air hockey theory and adjusting, can't wait to hear Marino's take on what he did or what he was intending to do for his adjustments. And here he comes. Right on. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, well done.
Okay.
I mean, obviously you would have preferred to win. I get it.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of the match, we talked predictions and whatnot, and I'll be honest with you, I predicted Vince 4-0, and the reason is no disrespect to you. It's just I think he's got such a powerful offense.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, he's just gonna, I don't think that Marino has really played much against Sauceda in his offense, and it's just going to be a lot for him to. But you made an adjustment, right?
Yeah.
After 3 games, you made an adjustment, which made a massive difference. Talk about it.
I had to pull my defense back, and I played that strategy right there. And then my son just told me, play fluent, and that's what I started doing. And, so I just started powerhousing and hitting everything.
Yeah.
And that felt good, and my defense shut him down a little bit. The only thing I was giving him, he actually took was the cut, which he stayed away from.
Right, which was
thank you.
I asked him about that. I'm like, dude, the man has made this adjustment, which makes it clear the cut is open. So why didn't you go for it? And he was like, well, I was kind of being stubborn, and so he paid the price. Ended up going to game 7. So what happened in game 7? It looked like maybe you gassed a little bit.
No, I think my offense, I got to that point, and then my offense started to turn back to the first 3 games of just coming up, hitting, and not
free flowing as much.
Yeah, I wasn't in the zone.
Yeah, because you were flubbing some shots and then losing possession when you hadn't been doing that in the previous game.
So yeah, it was awesome. That's what I love about air hockey.
No, absolutely,
yeah.
And great job making the adjustment against a top tier offense. I mean, I think Vince. I think you can say he's a top 5 all time offensively player. And so it's great to see what you did there.
Thanks. It was a good time.
Absolutely. So now you're going to play the winner of Jacob Weissman and Chris Gibson. Do you prefer one over the other?
I mean, no. I actually, it's not gonna. Either one I play. I mean, if I play, Jacob, your son, I'm like, okay, I'm good. I know what his game's about. Maybe I can make some adjustments.
Sure.
So either one. I mean,
either one. Okay, fair enough. Well, great job. It's been fun watching you play at this tournament, and I'm glad that you're back in practice and competing, and hopefully that'll continue now that your kids are into it. I know what that's like, having your kids into it, and they kind of motivate you to come play with them.
You got to practice. You have to.
Yeah,
I still got some more practice. Always learning.
And one thing I will say is, and you tell your kids this, and I'll tell them too, is I'm amazed with them. I think they're doing so great. They're rapidly improving so fast. And it's awesome to see.
LA beats up on them in the garage, so they have to.
And that's the way it works, right?
Of course, yeah.
And
that's how you build it up.
They're going to have to get better to be able to compete against them. And and he's on his way to start, getting to some of these higher levels. He just needed to start playing against some of the higher players.
Right, to see different games and be able to start visualizing different offenses.
Right. I mean, just playing against you, as a top tier player all the time isn't going to be enough. He's got to see the different things.
Sure.
He can start to learn, how to read you.
As a practice partner, it's really difficult because then you're like, you're stopping each other and it works. Yeah. So it's not as intimidating, or you're not trying as hard because you're just doing the same thing over and over. That's when you play different players.
Absolutely.
Which was one of the things that when I came into the tournament, I'm like, it can hurt me or help me. And it's actually done a little of both.
Well, of course.
Both players.
Of course. So. Yeah. But it's fun to play new people you've never played against. Test out your skills against them and see how you do.
Yeah. Like I've never played Jacob at this level.
Okay.
So that was definitely.
We'll see. I mean, this will be interesting. I'm not sure what's going to happen in that match. But Jacob and Chris played a challenge match recently, and Chris won. So we'll see.
Yeah, but we'll find out. I'm going to get there.
Great job.
I'm still in it.
Right.
Still in it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see you at the next one.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome.